Hello and welcome to Dialog TVS, the show where we talk to the people and the voices shaping Sarawak's today and future. You're now with me, Razi Ahmad.
And of course, you're now with me, Sharzede Datu on Dialog TVS, Razi.
Yes, and today, Cheryl, we turn the spotlight on one of Sarawak's most iconic cultural showcases, the Rainforest World Music Festival, which has now entered into its 28th edition this year. But this isn't just a celebration of world music, Cheryl. Over time, RWMF has evolved into something far greater. RWMF 2025 is being positioned not only as a celebration of music and culture, but as a forward-thinking ecosystem for sustainability, youth empowerment, and community transformation.
Yes, transformation as it is, Razi. And of course, at the heart of this very evolution is a visionary leader behind it who has been redefining the festival's purpose, helm and global appeal. Now, under her leadership, the Sarawak Tourism Board, Razi, as you know, has championed not only the promotion of Sarawak's tourism as a unique destination, but also the integration of sustainability, responsible tourism values, as we know, that resonate with today's generation of leaders. And of course, Razi, she's here with us today, and we're thrilled to have with her today. Please welcome the Chief Executive Officer of Sarawak Tourism Board. Welcome, Sharzede. How are you?
Thank you. I'm fine. Thank you very much. I'm very honored and very excited to be here talking to you guys.
Thank you so much. We can feel the festival up in the air and behind us as well, and with Sharzede here. And we're excited to know, one, so you've been the helm of Sarawak Tourism Board since 2018, as we all know. And through your leadership, Sarawak has been going through vast major changes and propelled into a global tourism limelight. Many of those international tourists are looking forward to Rainforest World Music Festival every year. And we know your leadership in Sarawak has earned Sarawak national and international recognitions for its tourism vision and resilience. And I think we had a bit of talk, Rainforest World Music Festival is entering almost 2-3 decades of it, still successful, and is you're part of that incredible story. Now, one for both of us, over the years, we want to know, as the festival is becoming bigger, well-known, and even through the COVID-19 pandemic, as we know, has crippled many of the world economies. However, RWMF is still there, and with a very big participation from the audiences, and managing to bounce back stronger than ever one. So maybe you can tell us a little bit on your personal aspects, being the vision of it, and also the efforts that have led you to make RWMF the huge success that is today and will be for the next future.
Oh, wow, Cheryl, that question is a million-dollar question, but I'll try my best because it is not just about me and, it's all about the people who believes in it. And I believe that, Rainforest World Music Festival is an event which I think the whole of Sarawakian are very proud of. Yeah. So when I joined Sarawak Tourism Board in 2018, to have it sustained further, and this is my 7th year, we need to ensure that there's sustainability. How do people would like to come in after nearly 3 decades? They are still as excited as day one when we started it in 1998. So basically, we have to be very clear in our directions of how we want to move forward and what are we doing with this platform that we have. And hence, it is through clear, crystal direction of positioning the rainforest, we have consistently make sure that we develop with the mind of the youth being the market that we should carry this. And therefore, it is very important that it needs to evolve. It cannot be the same since 1998. Yes, the base is the same. The objective is to ensure we preserve, we conserve, the instruments, the music, the heritage, and so forth. But what is important is that how do we get the audience? Any event is no events if there's no audience to make it wonderful, right? So being very clear with the objective, we then redefine the whole purpose and how to use this platform.
So redefining the RWMF year by year, evolving the festival. That's how you attract audiences.
Yes, definitely, because without that, the patrons are gonna be aging, whether you like it or not, right? So we need new group of people coming, new blood and all to understand what we're doing.
All right, so changing gears a bit, moving to RWMF 2025. This year, the festival, we're talking in general, has always celebrated diversity, and this year it's no different. So this year it features over 200 performers from over 20 countries, and that's quite the global stage, all coming to Kuching. So how does this year's lineup reinforce Sarawak's reputation as a cultural melting pot and our position as the gateway to Borneo?
Okay, so first and foremost, I think as a gateway to Borneo, you know, the third largest island in the world, yeah, and we are saying that we are the entry point to Borneo, and therefore, you know, we want to let people be aware of what that gateway to Borneo is all about, and this event has been one that pulls the crowd in, because when you talk about Borneo, it's very mystical, it's very, you know, it's in the encyclopedia, mind you, you know, so Borneo is there and very, very, it's something that people would like to know more. With that event in itself, with 20 countries coming in, you can imagine the interest, because each of the performers have their own followers. Each of the performers will showcase their participation in our iconic event. And this will be bringing in the whole group of people that are from different diverse culture. Can you imagine? One from Hawaii, one from New Zealand, one from Chile, and all that. And they are going to be meeting each one another and learning everybody's cultures. Not only that, the whole purpose is to let all these people know how beautiful our heritage, our culture, our sape, and the diversity that we have here that brings unity to this event, yeah? So the conversion of global participants and having the same purpose is something that makes it so beautiful. And music is a universal language. Who doesn't like music? You know, no matter what. Even a kid would love music, right? Baba Black Sheep, right? It's still music, yeah? So that's how important it is.
That's right. It's beautiful. And you touch on a very important point that music is a universal language, yeah? Do you agree with me as well, Ranzi?
I agree with
and
you.
of course, Sarawak is, you know, homegrown to its unique and cultural products. And as you also mentioned, it's beautiful in its way. And promoting its culture and its products is also part of its incorporation of the Rainforest World Music Festival, right, Juan? So besides the main stage of RWMF, as you know, before the clock strikes before the main stage as well, visitors are also looking forward, not only there, but I've heard a few, and the vendors have been telling me there's activities, like it's pre-shows, it's booths, it's craft booths, food as well, gastronomy itself located on the festival ground. So these experiences, of course, have become a staple for RWMF goers. And maybe how is STB leveraging this platform to support local entrepreneurs and also to elevate Sarawak's homegrown products to show this is uniquely Sarawak? What do you say, Juan?
Oh, yeah, my God. Cheryl, I think this is one platform which we believe can showcase our products, our people, our culture, and so forth. And I believe that strongly this platform is so strong that it will bring people to understand our artisans' work and all. You know, from a simple beadwork to something that is very creative, that is very uniquely Sarawak products. So during the festival, people will be able to buy, you know, small souvenirs or something, and to learn our heritage and culture. And not only that, you have a lot of food vendors that sells your favorite food, even ice cream gula apong and all that. You know, we are selling all these things to our visitors, and our festival goers. And it is something that to me, I believe strongly that it's a wow thing. And they can spend their time from 10 o'clock in the morning until after midnight. We're going to even have an after party after the highlights, you know. So it's something that it's not only for just the youth and all, but it is a family event where you can enjoy the event, you know, from morning until the evening. So to me, it's very important.
Yeah. So last year, RWMF has attracted over 26,000 attendees to its venue, the Sarawak Cultural Village. That's the highest recorded number so far.
Yes,
if I'm not
last
mistaken.
year was the highest.
Yeah. So this year, with RWMF, STB is partnering with a lot of strategic partners, like airline partnerships, and there's also increased international interest. So what are your visitor projections for this year, RWMF, and how are accessibility and digital engagement being used to attract broader audiences to RWMF?
Okay, so definitely, thank you. The digital audience is very important, yeah? So, I mean, this planning starts the day after we finish our rainforest last year. And the planning has started. We work with beautiful partners and great partners like MAG, that looks into special discount up to 20% discount through Malaysia Airlines and Firefly. We work with partners like Proton, who provides us, a good transportation and so forth, yeah? So for me, I think, the engagement through media, especially social media, is a must. Without a doubt, we need the reach and all. Yeah, then it will announce and promote our event in itself. So yes, I think in terms of basically what you call this, the audience, it is really widespread, and the reach out is very far. More than last year. We hope that we are able to reach as good as last year, if not better. But you have to, I like to note that there are multiple events that's happening that particular week and days too. So, but for all those who are coming all the way to Sarawak, please enjoy it, because it is an event that you should not miss. It's a great event.
Yes, we agree that it is an event that should not be missed. And of course, there's more that we're going to delve into for Rainforest World Music Festival and also the tourism aspects of it, Razi. But I think we'll continue right after the break on Dialog TVS. Don't go anywhere. All right, and welcome back to Dialog TVS. Now, earlier, just as we mentioned on the digital engagement, being used to attract broader audiences, and this is also one part of RWMF that shouldn't be left behind. Now, speaking of the broader audiences as well, as we know with developments, we've related to the tourism sector in Sarawak, we have the upcoming Kuching International, the new and revamped Kuching International Airport on its upgrade, and the hotly anticipated launch of Air Borneo. Now, connectivity to Sarawak, as we know, is also being a massive leap forward. In your opinion, Buyin, how do you see these infrastructure developments, impacting the festival in the long term? And could we be looking at exponentially bigger festivals in the next 5 years, perhaps?
Oh, okay. I mean, for me, when you talk about airports and you talk about airline, wow, that excites me, right? I mean, these are two basic things when it comes to infrastructure for tourism. Yeah, and I believe that, Yang Amat Berhormat, our Premier, it is so timely that he has decided, to have an international airport that's bigger and all. All this new infrastructure, especially with Air Borneo, we had so much issues or challenges, I would call it, when it comes to connectivity with our very own airline and a bigger international airport. That definitely will help tourism in general. When it comes to rainforest, it will definitely help, because then, with our own airline, inshallah, the destination will be curated, will be looked into by our own ministry and so forth. And hopefully, that will attract more people to have access into Sarawak. And that development to me is definitely needed and very, very timely. I mean, Sarawak is really, really progressing and really moving forward. I like to put it this way: we are very bold, we are very aggressive in all aspects, not just in tourism, in all other areas also. And with a visionary, premier and the Minister of Tourism, who are very into all aspects of events and development in tourism, it is definitely important because without that kind of vision and support, it is difficult. Stakeholders will not have the confidence and so forth. And tourism is an industry that is very inclusive, And if the stakeholders don't feel that confident, don't feel that there is going to be growth or continuity, they may not want to invest even bigger things, in the state of Sarawak. So I think that level of confidence that we're putting in to the industry players, to the stakeholders, is something that is timely, and we hope that, with PCDS directions, very clear-cut, we have a third master plan and so forth. Everything is about crystal clear and how we want to move things. And if everybody knows what needs to be done, how it can be done, definitely it will help. In general, tourism and Rainforest World Music Festival is just one of the many, many things in tourism. And definitely we can develop it even further.
And it's quite timely also, this development of the new airport and Air Borneo, because RWMF is going to be celebrating its 30th anniversary in 2 years' time, right? Okay, so we'd like to move a little bit into the sustainability aspect of Rainforest World Music Festival. Ms. Sharzede, you are a staunch advocate of responsible tourism, where you incorporate sustainability into Sarawak's tourism agenda. And RWMF, I believe, is a shining beacon of the sustainability initiatives that you champion so passionately. And for that, RWMF has garnered many international recognition and awards. So just to name a few, it has earned the Malaysian Iconic Event Award in 2019. It won Campaign of the Year in 2023 by the Malaysia Public Relations Awards. It's also won the World Responsible Tourism Awards in 2021 for the virtual experiences during the pandemic, and the Best Global PR Campaign Award at the Davos WCFA in 2023 for RWMF's compelling sustainability story. So that's just the tip of the iceberg of the many achievements that you have collected. And it's clear that these accolades reflect the efforts of STB in emphasizing sustainability for RWMF. So when we talk about this year, RWMF 2025 has rolled out several new sustainability initiatives like solar-powered solutions, to waste management and carbon tracking in partnership with PATA, the Pacific Asia Travel Association. So how do these efforts place Sarawak on the map as a responsible global tourist destination?
Okay, so, we've been talking about responsible tourism. We are now going to be diving into meaningful tourism, which is very important. Being responsible is very important, but to be very meaningful in whatever we do is further, and it dives into even deeper when it comes to a responsibility of all parties, And therefore, with PATA involvement, it is something that we believe that association and affiliation with PATA, United Nations, tourism, and the international bodies, it positioned the state of Sarawak and focus on our values, our philosophy, and how we want to make the state of Sarawak different from the others, And a lot of people think Sarawak as not that progressive, So it is our role to educate people through events, through accolades like this, to tell people, that we are moving forward. We are one of the first few states to have renewable energy, to have all this SAF and all that. It is something that we should be proud of, and then it is it is something that people must understand that the state of Sarawak are moving towards this, the green energy, and we are looking into the carbon emission and all that, yeah. So I believe that the state of Sarawak and through Sarawak Tourism Board, we are just an agency of marketing and our destination, but we need to have an event or have a platforms, I would say. And one of the platform is RAISE, which I hope I can explain to you a little bit more later, how we use that platform to bring and elevate our state.
Yes, and you touched on a very important matter that, being part of the helm of the Sarawak Tourism Board, it always been a stigma for people who think and their perception that Sarawak is not progressive as it is. So being a part and a visionary leader of it, how do you change the stigma or the mindset or cater to the freshest ideas to make Sarawak known to be more than what it is? As we know, it's known to have a lot of international tourists, looking up to Sarawak, and with all the accolades and all the progress that has been going, green energy, to have net zero carbon emissions. In this mission, personally, how do you change the stigma or your strategy moving forward?
Well, for me, everything is all about mindset, right? And actually, it's all about consistency. Yeah. When we do anything and whatever we say, you must show that in action. It is not just about lip service. And I believe that through STB, we have been very consistent to make sure that message gets across. And every year when we do it via an event like Rainforest, it has to be bigger, it has to be more meaningful, it has to reach out to bigger communities and to reach out to a global village and all that, So if if you don't believe in what you're doing, then you may not want to grow it. But we believe that this is the right way. Yes. We know that the global, audience are looking into this. Young people like you all, you're very much into sustainability. And we need to make sure that we carry it on year in, year out and make it stronger and so forth, so that they can see and sense that we are really genuine in doing it, and we really want to change people's mindset. It takes years to change people's mindset, but even proceeds from the ticket that you buy, you made a contribution because we use that proceed to plant more trees. We make sure people do and bring their own bottle if possible, because we have water stations. So, we started with small numbers. Now we have a partner that puts water stations everywhere, and make it accessible. So, all small thing adds up, and I believe action speaks louder than anything else, rather than just saying it, but really you need to show that. Yes. And that is very important for me.
Definitely actions speak louder than words. But looping it back to RWMF, sustainability in RWMF, the success of efforts to implement sustainability often hinges on strong partnerships and community buy-in. So can you share how STB is working together with local communities, NGOs, corporate partners to ensure that RWMF's green goals are met and even exceeded?
Okay, so basically, when we work with partners, we want to make sure the community has to be involved. They have to benefit, like food vendors and all. We would like to have the Sarawakian food vendors to be part and parcel of it and enjoying it and showcasing what they have, So we go through associations, we work with directly with the companies itself. We actually screen participants because we want genuine. We don't want to cannibalize each other. We're here to ensure that people enjoy it. They are able to make quote-unquote money out of this, in terms of their products, to showcase their products, And I believe that, bringing in the artisans to showcase our products is one thing that's very unique. And at the same time, we also have this year where we are going to use one of the houses where parents can even leave their children, you know, and they can enjoy. And we have a group of people taking care of the children, you know. So like I say, it's a family event, and we want to make sure it is something that people can do and enjoy that evening.
Really a family event. That is a strategy that I think you incorporate, you know, everyone and of course the roles and each and every goers, and this becomes even more meaningful tourism, I think, if you believe. And also earlier, Puan Yo mentioned, apart from sustainability, you nicked on a very good point on the race. Right? This year, race will be on its second edition this year, and we know complementing the festival is RACE, which stands for the Rainforest Youth Summit. 2025 this year, a regional youth summit that brings, I think, this year up to date 700 participation, young leaders from ASEAN and beyond to explore, you know, more meaningful talks and conversations on climate adaptation, indigenous knowledge, and future-ready tourism. Now, Puan, RACE was introduced last year and this year on the second edition, making a return this year. So, what's new that you're bringing this year?
Okay, so last year when we started it, it's an offshoot of an event of Rainforest World Music Festival. And we believe that, again, you know, RACE started because we want to develop the youth. There's a platform for the youth, and it is led by the youth. It is, you know, we talk about indigenous subject matters and so forth, and these youth are going to be our future leaders. And last year, when we organized it, we have all the ASEAN countries, and so is this year. So we're very proud there's continuity. We work through associations, the youth association. We work through our Ministry of Youth, you know, to get participants. We want to internationalize our Sarawakian youth, get them be aware and expose them, you know, in what race is all about, And I think with cross-cultural, with exchange of ideas, with great speakers, not just from ASEAN countries, with great speakers, with our Sarawakian speakers also, it makes a big deal in terms of developing and curating messages this year, because last year was general, very generic, and this year is really about our landscape of sustainability, more focus.
Yeah, so I'm guessing a lot of the youth of Sarawak will be in for a lot of learning when they come to the RACE 2025. So we've heard some incredible insights about how the RWMF 2025 is evolving into a global benchmark for sustainability and also cultural celebration, but there's still so much to uncover about RACE 2025, and we'll be right back right after this break.
Hello there and welcome back to Dialog TVS. We're still together with visionary leader for RWMF 2025 this year, Razi. And before this, I think previously we have had a very meaningful discussion from RWMF as a, you know, meaning to create meaningful tourism, and also on its new second edition of RACE 2025. And we're still on the topic of RACE 2025 one, where earlier you mentioned on something interesting, which is sparking the new blood and also to internationalize, you know, Sarawakian youth to advocate on responsible tourism, you know, community talks, and also climate conversation. This is a very important strategy that you have to incorporate the summit together in the second edition this year. And we also know that you're also inviting global sustainability champions, namely like Zoya Mayari, Praki Shevgaonkar from India, and also maybe you could tell us a little bit on these very influential people. We looked on them on Wikipedia, very mass, you know, acolytes, and a few other names to mention. And what can the Sarawakian youths actually learn from them?
Okay, so getting these speakers are not easy, and to have them in our infant stage level of conference, to me, it is something that we are very honored that they are willing to see the value of what we are doing. And I think for us youth, Sarawakian especially, to be able to engage with these people, you know, having workshop, having listening to them, you know, it should inspire our youth, you know, to see how they can contribute and to be able to ask them questions. This is first-hand information that you have all the opportunity to ask. And for me, this is a learning opportunity, and they have to take that opportunity. Bringing all these great speakers, you know, talking about their experience and how they go about it, it's something that the youth will hear and be able to see how important it is to be versatile, to be able to adapt, to be able to be resilient and understand what it takes to be moving forward. We are going to have a very challenging future, you know, with all this climate change and all.
Yep.
I may not be around by then, you know, but the young people must understand how important it is, you know, and therefore engaging with what you call the speakers like Zoya and all. It's something that they should take opportunity. And don't be afraid to ask questions. And for me, you know, it's an opportunity cannot be missed by anyone. Yeah.
Yeah, as we know, so as you said, a race brings together these leaders like Zoya and other, I believe it's 600 young leaders from all over ASEAN?
700.
700.
Yeah.
So that's a very powerful assembly of future leaders, if I may say so. So how does STB ensure that their voices are not just heard during the summit, but also translated into tangible action or policy influence after the event itself?
Okay, so our vision is to ultimately, you know, where we have our group of people going abroad, also participating more actively internationally, you know, so that their voice can be heard in relevant platforms internationally. At the end of the day, what we would love to see is to have a white paper and to bring it up to an international level, to talk about the bigger voice of the ASEAN group, initiated and led by the Sarawakian group of youth, to be heard their platform. Again, like I said, from just now, I said it is all about action. You know, this is a vision that we would love to see the youth. They must understand what is happening. They must take action and be very clear how they want to bring and curate and shape their future. So, you know, it is a platform that if you exchange ideas with 600 of our delegates during that time, I'm very sure it will spark, if you're a youth leaders and all, it will spark ideas and, you know, conversation that would be interesting. We had a group of people last year that is coming back this year because they find it very interesting. You know, there are groups of people who are bringing in and wanting to continue with it, you know, and therefore we should emulate certain things, especially our Sarawakian youth leaders, emulate certain things so that their voice can be heard and louder. And I would love to see our students, our youth, to go abroad, you know, be representing the state of Sarawak in an international bodies.
As you mentioned, some of them are coming back from last year and probably continuing the discussions from last year to this year. So what are some of the key discussions or outcomes that you're hoping will emerge from this Race 2025?
So last year is a very broad stroke. This year we are very, very focused into the living landscape and all that, right? So I hope, you know, because we have repertoires and all that, right? So I hope that we are able to carve certain things and come back with a framework. You know, how do we move forward? You know, it is something that the state government would be able to take up and then see how do we use the youth that has been trained and that has been exposed to bring them to a different level. And we have then a pool of youth who has that passion now, you know, because this race, it is going to be led by youth. That's the whole idea. They are the future leaders, and we want to spark that coming from them. And if they have the passion, they must see through. It's all about following up. See through what discussion you had now, and to see whether in 5 years' time, 10 years' time, how that seed has grown. and make it something that is more tangible and not just talking, without anything that's seen, tangible. It's all about tangibility, yeah?
Yeah, we're planting the seed, and then of course soon it will be a very beautiful tree.
Correct.
And as RACE is being led by youth, correct? On its own, so definitely is the fruit of their own labor and from their passion. And it doesn't come without action as well. Now, how does this initiative, as you can see moving forward, contribute, to shaping Sarawak's next generation of environmental? And you touched on a key point, being a cultural ambassador, probably not for Sarawak, but for Borneo, perhaps, and those who will carry forward the values RWMF stands for.
Okay, so again, Rainforest World Music Festival is about conservation, it's about preservations and all that. And the RACE is an offshoot of RACE, but it is for the youth market and the youth platform. Okay, with that in mind, we hope that our youth participating in this event will definitely look into how can we contribute our ideas and make things better, not only just in tourism, but in generally to shape. And shaping and the mindset has to start from a very young age also. And if they understand that passion that we have, and they carry it, I hope that, it will be a long-term benefit for the state, because they are our future leaders. And it is very important that they do that.
How do you see that it can incorporate, like this year, Malaysia, significantly Malaysia is the ASEAN chair this year.
Yes.
We'll be expecting, after RACE 2025, some of them, coming up with new future upcoming collaborations or projects, Anything?
Okay. Yeah, so again, we are very, very grateful that we are part of the calendar of event of the ASEAN, Malaysia Chairmanship for this year, So basically, what we hope is that, this platform, again, will come up with something that is more action-oriented. And again, the group of young youth leaders, what we intend to do is to rotate it, not just in Kuching only. So this year, last year, this year, and next year, because it's Visit Malaysia year, it will be here in Sarawak. But after that, we're going to rotate to other ASEAN countries. So can you imagine that when it goes to other ASEAN countries, we also will be contributing in what the other countries are doing, and see how we can contribute and make it a bigger framework for us to look into executing it in that is relevant to our country.
Will there be any long-term plans to expand RACE into a larger movement, like perhaps beyond the festival, maybe in schools, tourism programs, year-round initiatives?
I think, that boils down to how we see the youth that has been growing with RACE. Obviously, for me, like any other projects and initiative, we would love that this goes and cascade it to schools, to clubs and all, the youth association. They need to get. So whenever we have RACE, they should have that urge and that passion to join. Then they understand. Because for us, it is very important. If the Ministry of Education, for example, take it up and say, okay, why don't we have this kind of club in each of the schools, especially in secondary school, then you develop them and then to a different level after that.
Why not? Because,
it's possible.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah.
And with the participation, going at 700, that is a very big, a massive assembly on its second edition. And hopefully it will be a flagship every year, right?
Inshallah.
Yes, it will be a flagship every year. And who knows, there will be, more in more additions in a year as well. And when we speak about the youth, of course, the younger generation, the seedlings of the future, you can say now we are going into, looking into the future a bit on not only RWMF but also tourism as well. One, now as we know, Rainforest World Music Festival and other events like the Borneo Jazz Festival, they are a hit among not only locals but also international tourists alike. Many of them are looking forward to, they call it Rainfest this year. Some of my friends, I think, from some of the peninsula are already booking their tickets here, bringing some of their friends from China and whereabout. But one, maybe you can tease a little bit. What's next on the playlist? Maybe there's something new brewing on your end, or maybe any upcoming events or tourism programs that you're especially excited about, or Sarawakians and international visitors should look out for?
Well, for Sarawak Tourism Board, we are always exploring. We are never saying that, oh, okay, that's enough for us, We always would like to see every opportunities that we can. That has to result with numbers of people coming in. But tourism is just not about numbers, It is really about also how people look and see how tourism can improve the local market also, We are not into mass tourism. Sarawak is into niche tourism. We would like to see yield more than just numbers coming here. We would like to benefit the communities. That's very important. We don't want it to be so expensive that even the locals cannot enjoy what it is all. But we appreciate what tourism can bring to the industry, to the economy, and so forth. So a balance of the conservation, a balance of bringing in economy and contributing to the economy needs to be seen, So for me, when it comes to tourism and anything to do with tourism, the youth can play their part in terms of how do we balance it. And I like the youth market very much when it comes to tourism, because they always remind me the importance of the future. We tend to forget about, but they are very into sustainability. Everything they do is about sustainability, and they are so passionate about that. So in line with that trend and so forth, that market needs to develop as well as align with the vision of our state into that sustainability trend.
Yes.
So as Sarawak continues to balance, as you said, position itself as a sustainable and also culturally rich destination, where do you see Sarawak's tourism industry in 5 to 10 years' time, in general, generally speaking? So what are the long-term goals that STB is working towards for Sarawak?
Well, for Sarawak in general, we look into ensuring the employability of our. Sarawak has 2.8 million population. We are the largest state, equivalent to the size of the West Malaysian peninsula. So of course our density is low. Critical mass is not there. However, I always believe that with the development of the state into sustainability and all, there are opportunities that we are able to develop.
Yes, and with catering to, of course, the number of youth, across Sarawak, we're not only talking about coaching, but other divisions as well. And to have them all together in one place, to have one voice as well. How do you see, meaningful tourism being incorporated with youth and generations alike, and catering it into more educational aspect? Any strategies that, on behalf of STB is trying to do, perhaps, or maybe we could see in the next, before we hit 2030?
Yeah, so one of the things that we hope to do is to work with the Ministry of Education. Because I think through our stakeholders unit, we hope that we are able to develop, like we say earlier, through clubs, through programs such as that via our Ministry of Education. And it is such programs. It started small, but it will develop and grow as we speak, you know, and we hope that you know, the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Tourism, and the relevant other ministries, because this strategy is not just about one ministry.
Yeah.
It's about multiple ministries working together to make it happen. And only then we'll be working together in unity to move it even further and bigger. You know, rather than just it's under the Ministry of Tourism or Sarawak Tourism Board, I think the collaboration with all relevant ministry is so important also. We may be the Ministry of Tourism, but other ministries should have that mindset of tourism also.
I believe so.
And, you know, and therefore it will help to grow and exponentially the plans of our Sarawak tourism.
Yeah. So basically, it's a collective team effort, not just one party.
Yeah.
So, Ms. Sharzede, many destinations around the world are now racing to find the right balance between sustainability, tourism growth, and also cultural heritage. So how is Sarawak working to protect its natural and cultural heritage while also scaling up its tourism footprint in the world?
So, you know, when it comes to ensuring the cultural heritage, the tangible aspect of it, I think we have to be very conscious about it. And I believe there are a lot of agencies who are looking towards that area. You know, a simple one is, say, for example, Mulu. Yeah, I'm quite sure you've been to Mulu. It's a wonderful, fantastic place, you know. But we're not just talking about having so many people there. We must be conscious about the carrying capacity so that we don't spoil the place. Yet we keep it and have that heritage and have that preservation of that place, you know, and be sustainable in the long term. It's just not about mass and we just want to bring numbers and all. So we have to be conscious, you know, and we need to make sure cognizant that whatever we do, how it's going to affect in the long term. And therefore I think if we have that in our mindset, in our planning, you know, and consistently applying that in our blueprint, I think that will be very, very helpful in the long term.
Lastly, Ms. Sharzede, as Sarawak builds its reputation globally, are there any new international markets or partnerships that STB is looking at to tap into in the near future?
Yes, definitely. You know, for me, I think, you know, we are very much into, you know, new markets also, we do not target Middle Eastern before, but we are now into Middle Eastern. It's a big market, you know, but also they look into luxury products. So the question always I ask is, are we ready? You know, so if that's the market we want, because we are there for already nearly 3 years, and we are learning and trying to understand and have a good grips of what that market is all about. And we know they want luxury market. We know that you know, we have to have the infrastructure to prepare, but we are definitely going into second tier cities. You know, we are expanding our market in the European market. You know, the ASEAN is a low-hanging fruits market for us, without a doubt. So, but we cannot take it for granted that we do not want to spread our eggs elsewhere. I don't believe that we should put every eggs in one basket only. If anything happen, you know, like COVID, and then you're gonna be very, very, I mean, it's too challenging, isn't it?
That is very important.
Yes, so we like to spread our eggs, you know, fairly and make sure we balance it well.
That's very futuristic. I mean, the question still stays here, Sarawak, are we ready? Now, of course, that will be answered by Sharzede, definitely. And finally, I mean, to end the dialogue today on a personal note, if you could speak directly to international travelers and, of course, curious explorers who want to explore about Sarawak right now, what message would you share about what makes Sarawak truly unforgettable experience?
Well, one thing I can say is this, Sarawak has all the nature, the green lungs, you know, that you can imagine. We're not here to be the Milan shopping centers and all that. We're here to show you what true nature is all about. And it is this green lungs and the rainforest of 140 million years old rainforest you should experience, because truly this is something that is still authentic. This is something that you will really enjoy the true nature. And I think if you come to Kuching, you may be strangers at first, but before, when you leave, you are families and friends to all Sarawakians, who you have met and touched your heart. And I don't think you want to leave Sarawak after that. Believe me, it's a wonderful and charming place.
Beautifully said,
yeah.
Sharzede.
Thank you.
Well said, Buyin. And of course, Ranzi, it's clear that the Rainforest World Music Festival is no longer just a celebration of, music being a universal language, but also a celebration of identity, sustainability, and community. And of course, to add on, meaningful tourism.
Yes.
Now, as we know, under the bold leadership of Puan Sharzede, thank you so much, Puan Sharzede, for joining us and also delving into deeper conversations and, of course, conversations that will make the future and for our leaders as well. As we know, RWMF continues to involve and inspiring not only travelers but also the next generation of change makers.
So thank you for being with us, Ms. Sharzede. And to all our viewers out there, the Rainforest World Music Festival is happening from June 20th to the 22nd at the Sarawak Cultural Village in Kuching. Tickets are now available starting at 283 ringgit for a one-day pass or 765 ringgit for a three-day pass. Now, children aged 3 to 12 can join the fun for just 80 ringgit, and children under 3 get in for free.
Yes, that's right, Razi. So mark your calendars and mine as well. Gather your friends and family and get ready to experience a festival like no other, one that moves to the rhythm of the rainforest and, of course, the heartbeat of Sarawak.
And with that, I'm Razi Ahmad.
And I'm Sharzede Datu. Till next time.
We'll see you next time on Dialog TVS.